You want to know?
Rolling.
Yeah,
Wait,
so,
let me drink something.
we were just wondering how do you make the master schedule? Because what we studied, we're studying like sets and like intersection sets, like Venn diagrams and stuff.
Okay.
And so, how do you like take into account like all the different combinations? Of, I don't know, overlap.
Okay, so the way the master schedule starts is we get you guys all to sign up, right? And we know our numbers, and we work back and forth with the ISs to determine how many sections of any one course we're going to run. Okay. Then what happens is we have classes that are only offered once a day. We call them singletons.
Okay.
Okay? And we put all the singletons in. And we try not to have any conflicts for any students taking singletons. Okay? Sometimes can't be avoided, but for right now we'll just say that. Okay? Then we put in the classes that are offered twice. And we, again, are trying to find the least number of students that have conflicts.
Okay.
And then everything else we kind of spread out as evenly as we can. And then we do what's called a run. We tell the computer, have at it.
All right.
And it shuffles all the kids around and puts them in classes. Okay? And it's actually pretty cool. I can show you what it looks like if you want. Let me log out here. Do you have a question?
No.
I'm sorry. I probably screwed you up, didn't I? Is it wet? Have a candy if you want. So let me get in here.
All about that high chew.
Alright, so I'm in what's called the sandbox site. Okay, so it doesn't really work. It's kind of the playground for Infinite Campus so we don't screw it up.
Okay.
Okay, but if I look at making the master schedule for this year, so if we go back to 12-13, and I go into scheduling, okay, and go to what's called the schedule wizard. It's okay, it'll work. We're going to open. We hope. All right, come on, baby. You don't have to film that part. All right, where are you? Should be here. It's just very slow. All right, so we're going to look at, we're in the sandbox, right? Yeah, let's stick here. That doesn't matter. We can look at this here, okay? So we do multiple runs trying different things, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some trial and error and fiddling around, and sometimes, you know, we try, the goal is to have the best master schedule for all students. And then we start taking into other things. And we have to work with our facilities. This year was pretty challenging because we're pretty low on space because the new buildings didn't open. And then we look at teacher issues too. Okay? So, so we ran a number of times, and there's our final one. But I'm going to go back here to a different one. Okay? I was also having trouble with the the program freezing on me periodically, which was not good because you lose all your data, which is why every time I worked on it, I created a copy before I did it again, okay? All right, so what this looks like for me, it's actually pretty cool. All right, so here's the athletics, the X courses, you know, where you get to choose. Up here is what percentage of the requests were satisfied, okay? That number looks really low right now at 73%. Usually we're up around 94 to 96% requests satisfied, okay? And the rest is hand scheduling. This is low right now because all of these courses are active. So it skews what's actually really happening, okay? So we scroll down here. So when there's a conflict, you can see it's red. And so sometimes what I'll do, you know, that'll be, okay, orchestra and theater can't be at the same time because they're both using the same space. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kind of drag them along and try it and see. And as I drag, it's not working in this right now, but if I drag it, I can see, oh no, there's 8 kids with, that's not going to work. There's 7 kids here. There's however many. So for this particular one, there were there's one student who had a conflict. And so once it's built, you just kind of fiddle around with it. That probably didn't help you very much, but anyway, but that's what it looks like. We have about 520 sections, not including the advisory and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, and when you run it, it also tells you how many kids were placed in the class. So, and that we set the class size pretty high when we're first doing it, and then when we get closer to when school starts, we'll lower the size of the class so that the guidance counselor know when they're balancing classes don't go over this amount. Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, does that explain it pretty well?
She's right here. She's right here. She's right here. Alex, they're down here. You're right.
Okay. So what questions do you have?
Yes. So basically what you're saying is like you have like the required classes and then you put them on top, or are you doing it all at the same time? Like
No. So there is a tool in here to actually allow the computer to build the master schedule,
Alright.
but because of the way we do it here, it doesn't work. In order to be able to use the tool, you have to know who's teaching classes, how many sections, who's teaching. Who's teaching, what room they're going to be in, and how many sections, okay? And the problem is sometimes, well, this year, room was an issue. So it just didn't work because I couldn't figure out where all the rooms were because of the puzzle of trying to, move them around. And we don't always know who's teaching what. So some departments would rather get, okay, here's where the classes are being taught, and then they figure out who's teaching where, versus saying, you are teaching this, and then it kind of sticks them wherever. So consequently, the way I do it is I drag them in by hand. So English Lit had 3 sections. I'll just drag them in from here. So I could just pull this over and drop it in.
Okay.
I can't do it right now, but anyway. So it's hand built, I guess, is a better way. But again, working back and forth with the instructional supervisors and figuring out things that work or don't work. Okay?
That's great.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?